evening. Good evening. What a delightful Sunday it is. And we are back live at the studio with Imagine Me TV. And I am so happy to be here because, every Sunday, this is the highlight of my evening, just to be able to come and talk to our viewers, being able to empower, strengthen on Imagine Me TV. Imagine Me TV, real life, real talk, real issues. There's real people that bring on here that talk about their issues, that talk about their victories, challenges, empower our viewers. So it is my honor, my privilege to be here tonight. And guys, as I always tell everyone, we are live on Roku, Amazon Fire, Facebook Live, YouTube, Twitter, LinkedIn. Please invite your friends, invite your family. It is just an amazing honor. Tonight, I want to talk to you guys a little bit about tonight's guest. Her name is Karen, and Getty. I'm hoping that I pronounce it right. She was born and raised in Brooklyn, New York, and has always had an electric sense of style. Through her love for fashion, she wanted to introduce a more contemporary approach to business attire. I don't want to give out everything because I want you guys to be able to hear her story. Even as we go, we talk about it. And we have a lot to share with you guys. So remember, go ahead and invite your friends, invite your family. We're going to go into a quick commercial break. And when you come back, Karen will be right here on the set with me. So we're going to jump right into a break right now. Good evening, and this is Imagine Me TV. And once again, I just want to say thank you for joining us. And you guys know we have fun on the set. It's really a fun show. There's nothing uptight about it. When my guests, we just relax, we talk, because we know that we're talking to humans and people that have real life and real issues. And I want to officially welcome Karen to Georgia. Well, it's not like a welcome stranger to you, right? Because you got family here.
A lot of family down here.
So guys, this is just like two designers are just gonna be hanging out. We're gonna be talking about a whole bunch of different things. So we're just gonna jump right into it. First thing I like to do is always talk about how we met. And can you tell the viewers how we met?
So we met on Clubhouse we were in a fashion room together. Yeah. So, and then, I was going in every day and so was you. Yeah. And you found out that I was a designer. We started talking behind the scenes. And yeah, you asked me to do a few things. And I was like, well, maybe we can do something a little different. Yes. And then you said, well, why don't you come on my podcast? And I was like, okay, I could do that. And that's history. That's how it started.
You would the thing that what I liked was we were talking about, like I said, we want a fashion place on Clubhouse. Oh, didn't realize I wasn't. We were talking just everything fashion, and like me, I don't know for other people. There's usually so many as a creative person, so many ideas going through my head, and I want to do this and I want to do that. And what really got me connected to you is that we got on the phone and we were talking about some of the things I wanted to do, and then you actually guided me to some things that
Yes.
was really more beneficial than with my husband knows it. So I have great ideas and stuff, and
Right.
usually it gets in my head and I just feel like I got to do it, you know. And then you said there were different examples of things that you said, so I really want to officially say thank you and appreciate you for that. And then we talked about, you know what, hey, why don't you come on the show? And when you said you had family here in Georgia, I was like, you know what, perfect. And you actually, did you get to do the fashion show yesterday?
I did.
Tell us a
I
little bit more about
did.
that.
So Renee, who's also on Clubhouse, she held her fourth annual Global Wealth Woman Warrior
That's a lot of words.
Yes, a ceremony, and she asked me to do a fashion show for her.
Okay.
So because we did one in New York
yes.
for Breakfast with Champions, so I agreed, and it gave me a few opportunities. One, to come see my family.
Yes.
One, to do your
To
show.
be here, yes.
And one, to do her show. And all of it just coincide together.
Wow.
All in the same weekend. So I was like,
amazing.
This was like God-given for me.
Yes. Isn't it amazing when God orchestrates a plan and put it together and everything just fit perfectly? And I had to text Renee, I think it was yesterday or day before yesterday, because I was supposed to do part of the fashion show as well. But there was so many things happening, just so many things that it was impossible. Even and I'm glad I let her know in advance, because if I had said I was going to do it, there was no way that we would even be able to make it, because I didn't get home until late last night.
Right.
So I'm glad that you enjoyed it. So how was the show though?
The show itself was amazing. Everyone really loved the pieces.
Very good.
I made a lot of connections.
Good.
We're going to do another show together.
Okay.
So yeah, this weekend has been fast moving. I made some good connections, as I said before, and also I think I'm going to get some investments out of it. So I'm very happy right about
very
now.
good. I'm happy for you. I'm happy for you. And you know, this is one of the things that we learned, that even because you've been doing it for a while.
I've been doing it for a while.
And we're gonna get more into that. And it's good, that good encouragement to encourage other people that when it's your season, when it's your time, you know.
Yes.
But you know, we just ran into all this fashion stuff. But tell us a little bit more about yourself.
Okay, so my name is Karen Gettys. My company is KG's House of Fashion. It's a line dedicated to professional women, but women in general.
Yes.
I was in corporate America for over 30 years. So I was kind of tired of looking at the boring things that corporate women wear. So in my journey, I wanted to kind of figure out a way to incorporate sexiness, classy, and just everyday life stuff for women.
Yes.
And KG's House of Fashion was born behind that. And I'll say my journey wasn't as easy as most people think. But it was a hard journey. You know, when you do things, you make a lot of mistakes, first of all, especially if you don't know the industry.
Especially in fashion design.
Right. And so I had some costly mistakes.
Yes.
I had some hard lessons, but each mistake, each hard lesson, I got back up and I kept pushing forward. So it just was something I knew I had to do. I had to just do it. My heart wouldn't let me do anything else. So I'm glad I really stuck with it.
Very good. Very good. It's paying off.
Yeah, it's going to pay off, and it's going to be big. That's the
Oh
thing.
wow,
It's going to
yes.
be
Well, I'm
big.
glad to be hanging out with you then.
Yes, girl. Yes.
Oh yes, yes, yes. And see, that's the thing because even for me on that journey too, it was very very costly. And I would tell people like I've spent a whole lot more, maybe 20 times more than I've even made in this business. But like you said, I'm not gonna give up.
Right.
And even different part of the fashion journey, each time I realized that God had a different plan. There's something, everything that I did was leading me to all of this, having my own television show, having the girls group and working with the girls. So even if the fashion design is still part of me, and there's certain things I want to do with it. Right now, pretty much there the television show, and then the health and wellness with my husband being a naturopathic doctor. One of the things we want to incorporate health and wellness with beauty and fashion and
Yes.
all this stuff. So I realized that even what felt like a mistake was God training me and preparing me for what's to come.
Yes.
So I'm really excited for you, and I know I read part of your story, and we're gonna get even more into it, and to just it's an empowerment and an encouragement to those that when they hear your story. That's why Imagine Me TV exists, because a lot of times people see the fluff and everything. It's like, oh wow, they're just doing really well and stuff. But we want them to know we are real people. We go through real struggles. We struggle. We have challenges, but we do not give up.
Right.
And that's what we want to do, to empower them and encourage them. So we have a lot of questions, and so we're gonna keep going. So I read in your bio you had 16 years of premier customer service and 12 years in finance and sales industry. What was that like?
So what my corporate journey was working in the banking industry.
Yeah.
And that afforded me to learn how to service other people.
Okay.
And it also taught me how to build relationships.
Okay, that's good.
It also taught me how to speak to people, how to listen to people, how to just learn some things that I couldn't have known back then into my fashion world. So I can pull what I learned in corporate America and apply it to my fashion world, because fashion, yes, it's clothing, it's design, but fashion is a business.
Yes.
And you have to be able to service your clients.
Right.
You have to be able to build those type of relationships.
Yes.
So all of the things that I did early in life through corporate America, I'm now going to apply to my fashion business to make it even more successful.
Very good. So it's like nothing is wasted. Yes.
Nothing is
and
wasted.
If we can see it like that, and like I said before, a lot of times don't be so
quick to say
about the mistakes and the stuff.
Right.
That was
because
a failure.
Your mistakes are stepping stones to your future destiny.
Yes. Very good. That's amazing. And I think there's always a lesson in every part of our life. There's a lesson learned. Some people don't want to see the lesson. They just like, shove it on the side. But I always try to look, okay, what is this? What am I supposed to learn in this? And even I look at it in every area of my life, in business, in friendship, in relationship. Like someone comes into your life and they leave. Well, what was I supposed to learn from them? What was I supposed to, give to them? So in every part of it, we want to be able to apply every, and we may not be able to use every part. I do not know why this is happening. Every part right away, but in the long run, you will see how everything comes together.
Right.
How it comes together. So nothing is wasted. Why the switch? Why did you choose to become a fashion designer?
Again, I just really wanted to change the look for women. I wanted to empower women to be confident in what they're wearing when they're signing contracts, when they're doing TED Talks. I want their outfits, their clothing to speak the same language that they're speaking.
Yes.
So in order to do that, I had to become KG's House of Fashion to design the clothing for them to say, not only am I this empowered woman, not only am I this strong woman, but my outfit is saying the same thing silently.
Yeah. So you speak the part and you look the part.
Absolutely.
With KG design. That is really
Yes.
powerful. And I like that you being, again, that's where another part of being in corporate America serve your purpose, because you were there for a purpose. You're like, you know what? I don't like the way that I see women dress, some of the outfits that they have, and because it's the same thing every day, the same outfit. You go to the bank, you go to offices, and everybody's just like maybe like the white shirt and the little jacket and the skirt. And I look at your pieces, and they're really really nice. And what I like about them too is that like sometimes you go to work and you may have a dinner afterwards. You say, you know what, after work, you can just keep your same piece out, that because it's nice and out that
Right.
if you want to go to a nice dinner and stuff like that. And I really like that. It's so versatile as
And
well.
that was intentional. It's very
Okay.
much intentional on my behalf. So my thing is, you're running a boardroom during the day, and then you're going to hang out in your nightlife.
Yep.
And with little transition, you're going to be able to make that move. So KG does a lot of off the shoulder dresses, but you have a jacket on because you may not feel confident enough to wear that off the shoulder dress to work without a jacket. And some parts of corporate America may even look down on that.
Yeah.
But I'm here to help them change that, because we're in the 21st century.
Yes.
And women are empowered, and
Yes.
we can do and call our own shots.
That's right.
And dress the way we want to dress, and not have somebody judge us.
Yes, that's right. That's
so,
right.
So that's
That's
why
good.
I desperately am changing the way we look at corporate American dressing.
Okay, very good. That's amazing. So, okay. So how would you, and because you told us part of why you did it, so but how would you describe yourself even as a fashion designer?
Sexy. I have, my vision is, I want to keep it classy. I'm going to always give you a little sexy. I'm going to always give you a womanly look.
Very good.
But it's just going to be, I want to say fantastic, but it's going to be empowered.
Yes.
It's going to be empowered. It's going to give you the confidence when you're walking down the street. Because when people put on clothing, especially when they're going out for a job interview, when you have on that perfect suit for you or that perfect outfit for you, you feel like you can conquer the world.
Yes,
that's what clothing does to people. It gives them empowerment. It gives them the confidence that they need. So that's what KG wants to bring to it.
Very good. And professional, being able to have this professional pieces, have that look. And like you say, sometimes, or maybe a lot of the times, what you wear can make you feel differently.
Oh, absolutely.
And I like that even we as designers, that we don't just make it and put it out there. We practice it as well.
Oh, absolutely.
And you're right that when you put certain pieces, depending on where I'm going, depending on what I put on, I feel really empowered. I feel like, you know what, hey, if I wear one of my suits or something like that, or even my jumpsuit or something, I feel like, you know what, I'm the boss. I'm always, if you invite me to a party or something, I will always outshine everybody. I don't try to do it, but it's just like me, because I like, okay, I have evening gowns and stuff like that. I will just put something that normally people won't really see coming.
Right.
And I like to have pieces that are different. And that's why even with the pieces I created as well, I don't want it to be like someone expect what they expect it to look like. Right. I want it to look like, oh wow. And like your pieces, like, wow, really? That's for work? Yes. Yeah. That's for a party?
Absolutely.
Yes. That's for church? Yeah. And so that I really enjoy being able to create my own pieces and mix it. I like to mix and match and do just what you want think of normally that when I step into a room, I go somewhere that my clothes speak for itself. I can just stand there and don't even have to say a word to you. And everybody is like, okay. Oh, one of the things that I said is like when I enter a room, I command the presence.
Right.
You know, you step in,
and that's what you want to do. You want your clothing, your outfit to command.
Yes.
You want them to be noticed because it just gives you the confidence to conquer the world.
Yes.
And that's what, not to say men can't do it, but women, because we're taking over. Don't tell a man I said that.
No, we're not going to tell anybody that, okay?
But we're taking over and we're doing more things. So we want our clothes to deliver that message as well. And that's what KG's House of Fashion is really about. Delivering that message that we are coming, and when we step into that room, you're going to take notice.
Yes.
You're going to take notice.
Yes, and you're going to take us seriously too.
Yes.
Why you were saying that too? Because I'm like, okay, we're talking about corporate America. And I had this vision to, I think I tried it before, even not just for the office, but even for those that are in the medical industry as well. Because like nurses and stuff. And I know that most of them, they just want their out. They don't really, they don't care what they wear. But I remember when I actually was in nursing school, and that's why I knew I was not called to be a nurse, because I worked at Ohio State University. And I think the first few weeks when I came to work, one of the doctors looked at me and he knew I was a nursing student. He's like, are you sure you're in the right place? Because I literally came to work with my heels on. I know I had to change it, but I was like, there's no way I'm walking in tennis shoes to, so I had heels and I had beads, I had my jewelry and everything. I had a nursing uniform, but it did not look like a uniform. And again, I command the presence. And I've been thinking of, maybe I can create something for them that even when they come, it's just like, oh, it's just another nurse, another doctor, but people take them even more seriously. But that's just a side note that I threw out there. We're going to just jump right into, and I know like even in the fashion industry, there's like a lot of stress and a lot of pressure. I want you to answer the question, how do you handle stress and pressure? But one of the things that you said that in the beginning, and it happened to me as well, I spent like a lot of money. And that's the reason I even do this show, and I have the girls group, and I talk to designers, even people that want to start their business, because a lot of things that the designers that are up and coming don't realize you will get these people that try to ask you to do fashion shows or do events or photo shoots and stuff, and make you spend a whole lot of money, make all these promises, and in the end you get nothing, for it. And that is one of the reasons that I do not know why my phone keeps doing that. We want to educate them. We're gonna go into a quick commercial break because we need to take care of some house things here. So guys, that's what you get for live TV. So we're truly sorry about that, but we need to go into a commercial break real quick.
Do you want to grow your online presence and expand your business reach? Our marketing team can definitely help you. Advertise with us today and let Imagine Me TV take your business to the next level. We are offering 3 affordable packages to the end of 2020. Package number 1, you will receive 1 flash ad at the opening of the show. We will also share your business name, location, and phone numbers, and that is only $59.99. In package number 2, you will receive everything from package number 1, but you will also get a second flash ad in the middle of the show. In package number 3, you get to be the show sponsor, and you will receive everything in package number 2. Plus, we will list your website, and you will also have a 30-second video ad. These are some amazing prices. So what are you waiting for? Contact us today at email address info@leagueyourbrandltd.com or you can call us at 614-402-7034. You can also visit our website at leakyourbrandltd.com. You can.
And we are back live. This is Imagine Me TV, and I am speaking with Miss Karen Gettys, all the way fashion designer from New York, and she's here in Atlanta, Georgia. And we are so honored to have you. Have a grace Imagine Me TV studio today. So I just want to say welcome again, and guys, we're just going to continue. The question we had before we went into commercial break is, how do you handle stress and pressure with the business and just life in general?
Well, I started doing a lot of meditation. I pray a lot. I journal a lot now. And I have a habit of, like, when I'm really under a lot of stress, I get the cleaning.
Oh.
And I'm playing thoughts over in my mind. It beats, because I used to eat at a lot of restaurants by myself.
Okay.
Because I needed some me time, but that becomes expensive. And with starting up a business, you cannot always frequent the high-end restaurants. So,
and in New York,
yes. And so I just started cleaning, but I'm up at 4:00 in the morning.
Oh, wow.
I'm praying. I'm, doing things for emails. I'm looking for designs or just playing things in my head so I can see what my next step is going to be. And it's some peaceful time because my house is quiet at that point, and I can sit there and think. I can sit there and pray. I can sit there and meditate and journal, and I can actually get some stuff done because it's quiet.
Yeah. 4 a.m. Yeah, I know you sure that's I think I go to sleep like about 3 a.m. It's funny that you said it when you said clean. I was like, oh boy.
But that's my stress reliever.
Yeah, that's
my stress reliever. We all have different things.
Yeah.
But cleaning is one of my stress relievers. And then, like, when I'm really, really stressed, I'm probably trying to get out the house.
Mine is shopping, but I can't do that anymore. So.
Right. So I'm shopping, but I'm shopping for other women, seeing what they're going to look good in. So, but and I try not to get so stressed anymore. With journaling and meditating and doing affirmations.
Yeah.
It's kind of helping me to keep my stress level down because fashion is stressful.
Yes.
Business and entrepreneurship itself is stressful.
Yeah. Business in itself is stressful. Fashion is stressful, especially when you make, I don't know if you do custom pieces. Working with custom pieces, like working with brides and stuff. Woo-wee, Jesus.
No, I wanted to do custom pieces, but that becomes very expensive.
Yeah.
So no, I don't really do custom pieces. KG does ready to wear. But eventually we probably will do custom pieces. Me and my team, nothing is off the table because we may even get into men's design at some point.
So you talk about your team though. Kind of walk us maybe into like a day in your life or with your team. Talk to us a little bit more about it. How does all of that work?
So my pattern maker is one person. He does all of my patterns for me. Then I bring in a fit model to make sure that the fit is going to be good. And sometimes I even have him make the piece for me.
Okay.
That way, not only is the fit model giving her opinion, I can give my opinion too. Because for me, if I can wear it and really like it, then I know somebody else is going to like it.
You're actually wearing one of your pieces right now. Yeah.
And this is for my spring summer 22 collection. So this is not available yet.
So we're the first to see it. Yes. So we big Macy's.
Yes. Macy's doesn't even have it. Yes.
Oh wow. That's good. That's amazing. Thank you for that. Thank you for gracing our platform with one of your new pieces. And I love pink too. I love pink. So I think that would be a great sale. And I like that you put the colors into it, because that way, it, again, like someone can wear it for different occasions.
Right.
You know,
Right.
so yeah, it's really pretty. It's really, really pretty.
Thank you.
Yeah. So when you talk about even journaling as well, that's what I used to do too. I remember when years ago, before I wrote my book, that's what when I was in a very stressful relationship as well, and it was after that that I started the fashion. But there was so many stresses and different thing, and what really helped me was I would just write. But what I mostly wrote prayers to God. The funny thing is that these prayers, the writing never started like on a good note. I'll be really like really pissed off, really mad, and talking to God, why is this happening to me? You know, I serve you, I lead in the church, I do this and that, and then I'm sad. And but then in the end, I would find when I write all this bitterness, angriness, whatever it is that I'm feeling, then every page that I write in the end, there was a prayer. And it's amazing how even journaling, what can come out of it, because who would have known many years later, I was able to write my first prayer book. Right. And it was all this prayer, those heartfelt prayer, that when this publisher looked at it, she's like, you actually have written a book. And I was like, I did? She's like, yeah, you have a lot of prayers that we can turn into a book. So journaling really helped. I think sometimes the problem from is getting there, that the stress can be so overwhelming that. So now again, I do affirmations too. Now I was telling someone I have them on my wall. Once I walk out, they're in front of me, they're in my phone, they're everywhere. And I wish I had some. Maybe later we might be able to do some. I don't know too many off my head, but we can do that as well. So what motivates you as a fashion designer?
I look at, so sometimes I'll go into the city and start looking at things. I'll go to the park. I'll watch TV. I can get inspiration from anywhere.
Okay.
And when I'm being inspired, normally I'm visualizing me first.
Okay.
Because again, if I like it and I can put my spin on it, some other women will like it and enjoy it. So visualization for me is good. And believe you me, I didn't always have what I call superpowers.
Okay.
I didn't always have the visualization, the affirmations. I didn't always have that, but I found in my design journey, it helps me to remain focused.
Okay.
It allows me to be very creative.
Okay.
So these things help in your journey on what it is that you're doing. So yeah, that's part of my creative process in what I'm going to design next. And then I will put together a color palette in my head. And most designers have vision boards.
Yeah.
My vision board is in my head.
Yeah.
I'm so unorthodox with what I do and always have been.
Yeah.
So it's kind of, I do it differently. I've never followed what everybody else does because it doesn't work for me.
Yeah.
I'm very unorthodox in my designs. I'm very unorthodox in the way I present my vision.
Yeah.
So for me, vision is big. In my quiet time, that's what I do. I see what I want. I'll put it in my journal, and then I start the process of expectation. Because to write something in a journal and not expect it to manifest is not a good thing. When you're writing and you have to have expectations of receiving.
Yes. Oh, that's powerful. Yes. Yeah. That's very powerful. You write it and you believe it, you expect to receive it. Another thing you said is about, because like me, I'm a self-taught fashion designer. And I remember when I would be doing shows or doing events or going to these classes and stuff, I would be like, I really don't want to do things the way you people are saying to do it. And I had to pull back because even if the color palette too, and they will tell you, okay, well, when spring is coming, you need to make something like this. When I was like, no, I'm the designer. I know what I want to put out there. Yes, there are guidelines that we want to follow, but my take on it is that with my experience, my inspiration, I want to put something out there that not everybody else is expecting. Now, when they see it, it's something fresh, it's something new, it's something that I was inspired to do, and not where, okay, you got to use this colors and you got to use that, So I'm very, I do that as well. So were you like self-taught or did you go to?
Self-taught.
Very good.
Self-taught. And again, the unorthodox self-taught way. And that's how you learn to make the mistakes because you are self-taught. Now, I did a lot of reading because I love reading. So I did do the studying, but it's mainly self-taught. And sometimes that's the best teacher.
Yes.
And
then that's what I would like to encourage, encourage our viewers, not just even in the fashion industry, but if you know that God has given you a gift and God has called you to do something, it not because you don't have a degree, to say, you know what, I don't have a degree, I cannot do this, but I truly believe that whatever gifting that God has placed in us, that He will give us the everything that we need to execute that vision. So if someone is watching today and you have a vision, you have a dream, and you think, I want to become a fashion designer or a stylist, and I'm not putting down going to college for how many years did it go? For 8 years or 4 years, and then when you're done, you got $50,000. If that's what you want to do, in that, go ahead and do that. But if you know that God is calling you to do it, and school is the way for you, go ahead. But if you know that is a gift that you have, that natural, you can build on that gift. Like you said, read, do your research, and just believe in yourself, because I know and sometimes someone else might see that gift in you, and my pastor was the one who saw it. I made my daughter a dress, and she went to a father-daughter dance with the dress, and the pastor was asking her who made the dress, and she said my mom did it. And they all knew me going to nursing school. Like I said, it was like your mom. And then the story, this is the history of the story. But I had to also, when he recognized that gift in me, I had to receive it and say, you know what? I'm going to try it. And sometimes you have to do it, even if you do it afraid, but do it. Mm-hmm. And it's not always going to be easy. And we said from the beginning, nothing good comes easy. Sometimes you go for trials and tests, but all of that becomes learning. They become lessons. But the other thing I find with a lot of the lessons that I learned now, I help younger designers or designers that are starting, that want to take it further, or just even those girls and young men that have just the idea to help them. Say, you know what, these are some of the mistakes that I made. These are, try to avoid this and try to guide them. So even in our mistakes or in our learning examples, we can also help somebody else with that. So I think that is really huge as well. What are your strengths and weaknesses, and how do you balance them? I know you cannot answer that, but what are your strengths and weaknesses?
So my strengths are design, styling. They balance each other out for me. So my weaknesses is when I have a vision, sometimes because I may need to tone it down just a bit because it becomes elaborate, creative, and it becomes expensive. So now I have to maintain some kind of price. I'm thinking price range because I don't want, when you go extravagant, you don't want your prices to keep ballooning. Yeah. So like I know in my next collection, some of my other pieces, because I use a lot of leather, I'm going to use some exotic skins as well. Okay, wow. So with that being said, I have to find a way to kind of maintain that cost because I have to make it affordable for my clientele. You know, so the balance of creativity, design, that's my weakness. For the pricing will become my weakness. So luckily, and I probably shouldn't say this because if he's watching, he's gonna be down my back about it. But my son is always about the numbers.
That's good though.
It's good, but it's just like he's always like, "Well, Ma, did you really need to do that?" Or how much is that costing you? And he's always in the back of my head. And I'm
like my daughter in my head. Like,
okay, but he keeps me grounded sometimes. And I can hear him in the back of my head because he is a numbers man for me and stuff.
Oh,
so
wow.
yeah,
that I'm sure that helps you though.
Yeah. So when my weakness comes, I hear him in the back of my head.
Oh, okay.
And I don't get a big head, son.
You're like, yeah, mommy, listen to me.
Yes, I do. We have a great relationship. So yeah,
that's good.
I listen to him. So
that's good. Well, just tell us more about your son. Now that we're talking about, we always love talking about our kids, you know.
But my son he's very supportive. He's his own businessman, you know, and he's again, he keeps me grounded because he is the numbers man for me, you know.
How old is he?
He's up there.
Okay, you know what? That's okay.
I don't want to put all his business out there.
That's right. That's okay.
Yeah, but he's my
mature.
only child.
Okay,
I only have one child, and I have a grandchild. But yeah,
congratulations! I got one grandchild too, which is such a blessing, and I think it's gonna be 3 in that. But the sad thing is, he's in Ohio, so I don't get to see him much. But I just watch him on the phone every day, and then we FaceTime, you know, a couple of times. But the kids, I truly believe they in our life for a reason. Because I have my youngest son is the one. He's in the Air Force. That's the one that he could not be my accountable person because we both would be broke.
Okay.
If I say I'm gonna not eat, then we're gonna shop. If I'm gonna sell the house so we can go shop, it's like, okay, mom, let's do it. My oldest son now, he's like, I was like, Mom, do you need to do this? Mom, why are you doing this? Do you really need this? And I was like, shh. So my daughter is kind of like in the middle. She's very inspirational. So she's a designer as well. So the kids are blessing. Then I have my husband, which is I think a mix of all of them together. Sometimes he tries his best to keep me grounded. I usually slide up, and I know he's hearing me now. Slide up under him, and but even if sometimes I don't want to admit it, in the back of my head, I hear the voice of know. So I believe God put our families in our life to kind of keep us grounded and keep us balanced and stuff. So we appreciate you guys, sons and husbands and children, daughters. Yeah. So wow, this is amazing. Oh, let's see. We keep on going. Fashion design. Being a fashion designer, what are some of the pros and some of the cons?
The pros is I get to share my creation with women domestically and internationally. The cons is if you get into this arena, it's going to be costly. And you're going to make a lot of mistakes and you have a lot of competition, but you have to distinguish what's your take on it, what makes you separate from somebody else, what's going to make you stand out from the next designer. And you have to always keep that in the back of your mind because it's a populated field, but yeah.
Yeah, and then we're going to talk about that later on too, because then I know when I did some research, you talk about the industry and the amount of people that are doing it. But before we go into another commercial break, I want to ask you, what with COVID and everything, how did that affect your business? Can you talk to us a little bit on that?
So actually in COVID, I was still working somewhat in my regular job.
Okay.
And then I kind of retired, and then Macy's came along. So it was good and bad. I left a job, but Macy's door opened.
Wow,
So
we're definitely gonna talk about Macy's later on. So actually, because like I know for a lot of people, COVID was really devastating. Whether it was they lost family, but when we're talking about the work part, a lot of businesses really suffer. I know our business suffer because we literally that we have um the the studio and my husband's wellness business. It had just started picking up, and he ended up getting stuck in Barbados for months because of COVID, and we had to shut down the business for almost a year. And but even right in the midst of it, too, I started making masks to sell, and
right.
I never sold so much in little things, So that was a blessing being able to do that. And even there have been like some really trying times because I actually ended up getting COVID, but I'm alive and well today. And I think because my husband is so much into all the natural stuff that we did, we were able to get through it and with no, lingering stuff. And I took my shots as well, just to be safe as we can be. But it really people are still hurting from it, and I believe it might be there for a while with all the new things that are
Right.
coming up. Um,
And absolutely, the fashion world took a hit
yes,
because people wasn't going to work.
yeah,
So I kind of had to pivot too in my
yeah,
designs because originally I was just really doing corporate wear, but COVID helped me shift, which was one of the best things I did.
oh,
I
okay.
shift, and it just took me to a new level.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. And even we're just sitting there talking casually. Even as it encourages me, I'm sure that is encouraging somebody else that
Yes.
even in something that may seem like a disappointing time, you can still have a positive shift.
Oh, you must remain positive even when all hell is breaking loose.
Mhm.
You got to find a positivity in something. And it took me some time to learn that, but I look at things totally different right now.
Wow.
So, yeah. And don't get me wrong, I have a lot of challenges, but within those challenges, I try not to stay in that negative space too long because it can be very damaging.
Yes, yeah.
And I always try to find, even after I calm down, what's the message to this challenge and
Yeah.
how am I going to not do it again? Because whatever lesson you don't learn the first time, you will repeat again. So
Very
you
good.
must find that message in that lesson or that challenge, that mistake. You must find it, and then not to repeat the same message or lesson again. Not message, but the same lesson again.
I guess that's where that could come in. Insanity is it? Insanity is doing the same thing
Oh,
over and over again, expecting the
absolutely.
different. If you don't learn the message, you don't say, what is this trying to teach me?
Right.
And I think many people do that, and maybe I may have done it. Sometimes
We
you
all
do
did it.
something,
Right.
and you're like, okay, like I'm gonna say cooking for instance, because I don't like to cook. You put the pot on the fire and you put it on high. I think I don't know what the numbers are, and the food burned. Rather than you didn't learn that, I didn't learn that lesson. I put it back the next time, maybe the third time, the fourth time. It was like, okay, what am I doing wrong? Until one
Right.
day was like, okay, maybe you should lower the fire. So
Right.
until you learn that,
You're going to
you're
keep
gonna
making
keep
the
making
same
it.
mistakes. And we all do it. However, once you get that lesson, my thing is do better, be better, become better.
Do
So,
better, yes, and we can.
right.
Yeah,
And
we can.
you just cannot keep making the same mistakes because again, you will repeat them. And it's crazy. It is insanity to
It
keep
is, yeah.
repeating that. But again, as you grow, you learn, you become more mature, and you do things differently. So
And
yeah, I became very proud of me because
mm,
I've gone through a lot, and I learned to get up each and every time. And I also learned how to make a shift in my thinking. I also learned how to control my attitude because the when you become a business owner, you must know how to communicate with other people,
Yes.
even when things are going wrong, even when someone does something wrong. You must learn how to communicate. And these were all the lessons I had to learn before I even start my business. You have to learn how to talk to people.
Yeah. I'm glad that you said that because I was on and we love Clubhouse. I was on Clubhouse and I'm bringing it to our Black people, and that's one of the things that I heard. Someone was saying that even as Black business owners, sometimes we, maybe not me and you, but quite a lot of them don't know how to talk to customers. And we're talking about the entrepreneurs. Because there was one lady actually gave a story about she tried to support some Black businesses, and I mean her experience. I mean it was out of this world. I'm like, this is how you trick customers. But when she goes to another place and another market, it's so different. Um, can you shed some light on that? What is lacking in our population, the Black population? Why sometimes some of them don't have that the people relationship, or they just do stuff anyhow. And even being on Clubhouse, and I would hear some of them that say that they're business owners, and even the language and the way that they speak, and I'm like, whoa, it makes me want to just back up.
Um, that's where my customer service skills came into play. So I was able to bring that over into my business. I think most Black people who are serious about their business, and I just don't want to label it as Black people. Yes, I know we come a long way, even in listening to Clubhouse. I think we do know how to talk to people. I think we do know how to build those relationships. These are things that we learn. As I said, I did customer service for 16 years. My customers loved me. And it was evident to my managers. It was evident to senior management that they loved me. And the reason they did that was I didn't come across as a salesperson. I came across genuinely, and I learned how to talk to them. And I learned how to, the biggest thing is listening.
Yeah. Okay.
You have to learn how to listen to people, and then you become their problem solver. So if that's the communication portion of everything, listening before you speak, understanding what the issues are, and you may not even have the solution right then and there, and just be honest with people. Say, okay, I hear what you're saying. Let me get back to you, because you may need to go research some things, but you cannot talk to people down, and you can't put people on defense. So even when you are delivering bad news or something, I don't want to call it a criticism, but when you're delivering a constructive criticism to someone, you must first find something positive about what they did. So that way they can take what you're getting ready to say to them in a different light. You're not putting them on defense first. Because when you put someone on defense, you're going to banter back and forth. But if I say, Joe, you did this really correct. However, I need you to work on this. I'm not putting Joe on defense. I gave him a compliment, and now I'm telling him what I need him to work on.
That's good.
And these are things that I learned.
So it's really how you deliver, the message. And
right.
Stuff
It's
like that.
all in the delivery.
Because we get a lot of, bad press or bad word, and I always try to, and I don't try to make it a black and white thing, but I know if we don't empower each other, if we don't pull each other, and even sometimes we have to call each other out. Sometimes we may not like to hear it and stuff like that, but if we want to come up higher and come up better, we have to say, hey, we gotta do this right.
You have to learn to take, even myself, I had to learn this. So this is not nothing new for me because I was that person at one point in my life where I was like, what you said?
Yeah.
But again, as you grow and you start doing things differently,
yeah,
you learn that to put people not to want to intentionally hurt their feelings.
Yeah.
But that's something we must learn as time goes. If you would have known me probably, I want to say 20 years or 25 years ago, it might have not been the same answer. But because I matured, I grew, I understand I want my business is going to be very successful. I had to learn how to speak to people.
Yes.
And doing customer service, being in corporate America helped me do that.
That's good. That's good. And now you can, empower
and
teach
and I
people.
can tell other people how to do that.
Yeah, because you walk through the experience.
Right. And with doing that your employee manual need to have those steps in there to teach people how to speak to other people. And don't think those other people may not be wrong.
Yeah.
But even with them being wrong, you still have to be respectful and be mindful of how you speak to people.
Yes.
So
And it happens even not just in the corporate world as well, even
in regular life. In regular life.
Like you said, like for me, even if I'm a child of God, and because a lot of people think if you're saved and sanctified, Holy Ghost feel that you're perfect and stuff, I'm nowhere close to that.
We're not going to discuss the church because the church has some of the biggest hypocrites in there, so we won't go there.
But like for me, and I'm like, okay, but if you rub me the wrong way,
because you're human,
I would have really snapped.
Right, you're human first. That's what it is. But you have to learn how to control your response.
Take a deep breath.
And I'll tell you, my granddaughter watches Sesame Street, and when I'm watching her, they have this thing: stop, think before you respond. And grown people need to listen to that because we don't always stop and think before we speak.
Yeah.
Sometimes we speak out of So stop and think.
And that's something that we're learning, and it's a daily practice because people will come at you and they'll come at you like different direction when you think you just got this one. Because I know yesterday I went through a certain challenge. I was like, oh. And today something happened that really threw me off, and I had my phone and I was responding. I was like, and then it was, it's hard when it's even family members.
Oh, absolutely.
And I wanted to just respond, and I just like, you know what? I'm not even. I had to respond in love, even if I didn't feel the love, but I had to, because I'm like, you know what? I'm not gonna throw fuel on the fire. But that's a learning process that I can even encourage somebody else. Say, you know what, May? Sometimes it's not even worth it to go down that road or to fight this battle, or nobody got time for that.
You do have to pick and choose your battles. And I also say, even with family members, sometimes you have to just walk away.
Yeah.
But it's life. Everyone, we can all be pushed. We can all be pushed to a place where you may not stop and think, but you have to remember when you're angry and when you're very emotional, you say things to people that are really hurtful. Yeah. And sometimes you may not be able to take it back.
Yes.
So
these days, because before you just speak out stuff, but now we got text.
Yes.
And once you send that text, now the person have evidence.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Man. Wow. So it's really, if you don't learn anything from this today, it's just and the word of God said, be slow to speak. And like Sesame Street, what does it say? Stop,
think, and listen.
Stop, think, and listen. Even before you answer, before you start texting. I have a lot of texts that I have the unsent text. So I would put it, and I was like, nope, let me just take this, and I'll put it in my journal as well. So, guys, it looks like, wow. I think we've spoken for an hour, and we've only been in question, I think, 8. So we're definitely gonna have to have you come back. Are we gonna take a quick break, and when we will come back, because we definitely want Karen to tell you how you can find her. You'll know where you can find her and stuff like that, but you're definitely gonna have to tune in for the rest of the interview because we
Let's
have
just
some
tell them where
really
they can find
really
me
great
now.
stuff. Yes. Okay, so
Okay.
just go ahead and tell them where they can find you and stuff like that.
So I can be found on www.kghof.com, or my Instagram is at KGHOF, and my LinkedIn is KGHOF. Everything is KG's House of Fashion. KGHOF.
They can't miss that. They can't miss
Yes.
that.
I'm actually selling on Macy's.com. I'm going into Bloomingdale's.com.
Very
So
good.
you'll be able
That's
to find
amazing.
me in different locations. I'm striving to get to Saks. I'm also
Yes.
striving to get to Nordstrom's, and you can absolutely find me on my own website again, www.kghof.com.
That is truly amazing. And I know we're gonna continue the interview. So even because I want you to even get into the story of how all of this happened, because I know that it is very empowering. And it did not happen where you just got up, oh, I'm gonna just design and hey, Macy's buy my stuff. And I know you'll get into Saks. I know you're in Bloomingdale's, and even if the word of God say our gift will make room for us.
Mm-hmm.
And we want to talk more about that. And guys, we're gonna have it back maybe sometime in September or something. We'll have the second segment of this, but this has really, really been awesome. And your experience in customer service, I know some of the stuff you said there has really helped me doing affirmations and all these different things. So what I want you to do, and we're not gonna go into a commercial break because we want to get everything that we can right there. Before we close, what can you, like someone that is just looking today and maybe are struggling, maybe going through something, and they just need a word of encouragement, an entrepreneur, what word of encouragement that you can give to that person that is watching, that it will help them through the week or through the month or through their process?
Okay, so I'll say my words of encouragement is stay positive, ask questions, and find a great mentor, because your mentor will absolutely help you stay on the correct path. The words of encouragement and staying positive will also come from your mentor. And most importantly, you'll know if it's right for you. It'll feel right in your mind, your spirit, and your soul. And I'll say never quit, because quitters never win. We do not quit in life. Never give up on your dreams. You know what you're supposed to do. And I will always encourage everyone to stay true to themselves.
This is awesome. That's awesome encouragement. I know I'm gonna go back and watch the show, that way I can get all this beautiful inspiration. I love that you talk about mentor, and maybe in the next segment we'll maybe talk about, maybe give them some examples how they could find a good mentor and stuff like that, because I know it's very, very important to find someone that maybe share your values and in that industry.
A mentor can be your accountability partner.
Yes.
They can keep you on track, and they should be able to help grow you.
Yes. Okay.
Yes. That's
wow.
A mentor was big for me, and I have a great mentor.
Wow, that's amazing. Well, you know what, guys, we have come to the end of the show. And again, if you're just tuning in, as you can see, this is Imagine Me TV. And today I'm speaking with Karen Getty. I'm from Brooklyn, New York. She is an amazing, outstanding fashion designer. And as you can tell, very empowering speaker. She loves to empower and encourage everyone that she comes in contact with. And I just want to say thank you very much. And we look forward to having you back on Imagine Me TV. So once again, we just want to say good night, and we are closing out the show. We're saying good night, but not goodbye, because we'll be back next Sunday with another amazing show. Guys, we are all over the world. Usually when we check the website, we've had like 50 different countries where people have tuned into the show. And, we are on about 8 different platforms. So if you can't catch us on Facebook Live, which is, just one of the places that a lot of people are, we have YouTube, Roku, Imagine Me TV's website, LeagueYourBrandLimited.com, Amazon Fire, LinkedIn, Twitter. We are everywhere. So guys, make sure you share this, share it to your friends and family, because I truly believe that this was an empowering segment that can really help change the life of someone that maybe just need a word of encouragement, or an up and coming designer that may be struggling and say, you know what, and not even just a designer, anyone in business, because to be able to get your designs in Macy's, I mean, that is a powerful, this is amazing,
Yes.
So I am really proud of you, and happy to have you in here today. And we will go more into a story in the next maybe couple months or so. So thank you very much for watching Imagine Me TV. And once again, thank you for being here today.